Good afternoon, everybody. Today is January 14, 2026. Today our lecture is Vipassanā Part of Purification. Anyane is about the wisdom, Part 24. Before starting the lecture, we pay respect to the Buddha saying Namo Tassa and 3 times, please. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Thank you very much for your watching. So we continue learning about the wisdom. The Buddha teach how to develop the wisdom. Is very simple, The Buddha show the way how to attain the power of wisdom by training our mind with the 5 aggregate. So that's why today we continue learning about these 5 aggregate, how we can. So Pali studying like this. Yataja Rupa. So Rupa is Rupa is a kind of the material aggregate. Yata is like this. We already explained. Even very similarly like this, Vedana Dayopi. Vedana is a feeling means a feeling aggregate. Vedana Khanda. Adiyo is etc. is the Sanya Khanda, possession aggregate, Sankhara Khanda, Manda formation aggregate, and Vijnana Khanda, consciousness aggregate. So Adiyo is that meaning. So Vedana Adiyo be feeling aggregate, etc. Also, Vedita Lakhana Disu. Vedita is Lakhana is a characteristic. Vedita is experience the object. So the characteristic of the feeling is to experience the object. Adisu is etc. Rasi Bhaupa Kamanena. Rasi is a group. Bhava is a happening. Ubagama is the rich. Ubagamanena is a rich happening as a group. So that's why we call aggregate. Feeling aggregate. Not feeling is not only one, because of the different kind of the feeling. Already explained like a material aggregate, Rupa Khanda. in the past, in the future, in the present, etc., etc. So various kind of feelings make a group. That group is we call aggregate. So Bauba Kamanina is we make a group happening what the feeling in according to the different way. So that's why. So nahi udanadi. He, it is true. He is a he. It is true. Na is a leader. Vedana khanda, vedana dihi. Vedana di is a vedana feeling, etc., etc. In ye, the other vedana khanda diyo nama. Vedana khanda, the feeling aggregate, etc., etc. The kind of name. Na is together with ati. Na ati. There's not. There's not the other different kind. Vedana khanda, the name of the Vedana khanda is with the feeling aggregate is just only feeling. The root of the feeling is with feeling aggregate, not the other dhamma, not the other thing. So Pali explained like this. So that's why the Pali English translation is as just in the case of the materiality aggregate, so also the feeling aggregate, etc., respectively shown as a feeling aggregate, Vedana khanda, etc., is a sanya khanda, possession aggregate, sankhara khanda, matter formation aggregate, and then Vijnana khanda, consciousness aggregate. So since they come under the collection with the respected characteristic of the being felt, etc., etc. So for there's no feeling aggregate apart from the feeling, and so on. So I mean, is the other aggregate. Sanya khanda, sankhara khanda, vijnana khanda also same. So that's why here explained like this. And then Pali continue, atidadi vibhagi, panita, pana, ita. Panita is 2 words combined here. So panita, pana plus ita. Pana is talking about the special things. Ita is referred to the feeling aggregate, etc., etc. Atidadi vibhagi. Atida is past. Adi is etc., etc., past, future, present. Vibhaga is the analytical explanation. In the analytical explanation by the past, future, present, etc., etc. Sandadi wasena. Sandadi, continuity. Sandadi wasena, according to the continuity. Khana di wasena cha. Khana. Khana is a moment. And moment, etc., etc., according to the moment, etc., etc., also, Vedanaya, for the feeling, Vedanaya, for the feeling, Atida Nagada Pichupana Pao. So Atida is past, Anagata is a future, Pichupana is a present, Bhava is happening as a past, happening as a future, happening as a present. Viridabo. Viridabo should be known, should be understood. Okay. Tata. Tata is a refer to the sandati, continuity and moment, kana. So ta is a refer to these two kinds, sandati and kana. Continuity and moment, sandati vasena. Sandati vasena is according to the continuity ekaviti. Ekaviti is the same process of mind, eka javana, same the impassion, eka samabatti. Eka samabatti is a same attainment, pariyapana, including in the same attainment, same impassion, same process of mind. Ekaviti, visaya samayoga pattaja. Eka vida is ekaviti visaya is same process of mind, and some visaya is object, same object. Samayoga patta is happening. The kind of feeling is happening with the same, in the same process of mind and same object. Same object is, for example, like the image of the Buddha or the other different kind of object, smell, sound, taste, etc., many kind. So that kind of feeling is we call Pichupana, present feeling. Just same process of mind, same object at the time, happening the kind of feeling is we call Pichupana, present feeling. The door, ta is a refer to the present feeling. The door from that present feeling, Pobe in previous, Adida. Adida is a past. Yeah. And then Picha, later kind of feeling is Nagada, future feeling. So feeling also we can analyze into three kinds like this. According to the continuity. And then Kanadi Vasena, Kana moment. According to the moment, Adi, etc., etc. Kanadaya Pariyabana. Kanadaya is Kana is a moment, Taya is a three moment. Three moment meaning is Upada, Titi, Benga, present moment, Upada, arising moment, and then Titi is a present moment, and then Benga is a dissolution moment or disappearing moment. So three moments, Taya. So these three moments, Priyabhana is including these three moments, Bobanda, Paranda. Bobanda is before, Paranda is later, Mijatata, Mijatakata. Mijata is a middle. So between previous and later, in the middle, the meaning. Majata kata. So the feeling going in the middle, before and later feeling, before feeling and later feeling in the middle, that kind of feeling is we call uh Sakichin, Sakichancha. Sakicha is with the own function. Sa is the own. Kicha is a function with the own function. Uh, Guru mana. Guru mana is a doing. Guru is a kara. Change from the kara according to the Pali grammar. Guru mana is a doing the own function. Kichin, Sakichin Guru mana doing the own function. Own function means Vedana function is expedient object. Just expedient object. Yeah. This is the function of the Vedana feeling. So that's why feeling is just we get the expedient for the video kind of object in our daily life. So that's why here Pali explain. That kind of Vedana feeling is we call Pachupana or present feeling. So present feeling is a before and later feeling in the middle. Yeah, just doing own function right now. That kind of feeling, the meaning is just experience the object right now. That kind of feeling is we call Pachupana, present feeling. Yeah. And then the door from that moment, the door from that moment, Bobe before moment is a dita, or dita is a past feeling. Picture later moment. The later moment is we call in the later moment arising the kind of feeling is we call anagata, future feeling. So yeah, in our daily life, moment by moment, we can separate various kind of feeling. Right now, we have experience that kind of feeling, present feeling, but before, just moment before, is a past feeling, and then just moment later, that feeling is we call nagata, future feeling. Yeah. So yeah, every single moment we can classify into three kind of feeling like this: past feeling, present feeling, and then future feeling. Yeah, like this. And then ijada be ijada baheda bedo. Ijada is internal. Baheda is external. So internal feeling, external feeling, that meaning. Beta is a different kind of internal feeling and external feeling is niyakijata wasena. Niyakijata is the own feeling inside. That kind of feeling is we call ijata, internal. But external is the other person feeling, not your own feeling. The other person feeling is bahida, external feeling. So like this, Veridabo should be understood. Okay? So Pali explain like the feeling also, dita, past feeling, nagada, present feeling, pachubana, the nagada future feeling, pachubana, present feeling, also internal feeling, external feeling, like this. So the Pali English translation is like this. In the classification into the parts, etc., etc., the past, the future, and present state of the feeling should be understood according to continuity and then according to the moment, etc., etc. We can classify. So here, in according to the continuity, sandati, that included in the single process of mind, connected city, in the single impulsion, jhana, in the single attainment, samapatti. So that occurring in the association with an objective fee of one kind is we call present feeling. So before that is we call past feeling. Subsequent, the feeling is we call future feeling. So according to the continuity, we can classify in three kind of feeling. And then according to the moment, kana, etc., the feeling including in the trial of the moment. Trial of the moment is obada, titi, binga. Is a we call three kind of moment. Very, very short moment. So which is in between the past time and the future time. This is what we call the present feeling, and then which is performing its own function right now. So that's why it's called present feeling. And then before that, the present feeling is we call past feeling, and the later subsequent feeling is we call future feeling. So like this, we can classify. And then the classification into the external feeling, internal feeling, and external feeling should be understood according to the internal in the things of one's own. Is we call internal feeling, and the other person feeling is we call external feeling. So we have to understand like this. And then we go to the next Olarika, Sukkuma, crops, and subtle, so Pali like this. Starting like this. Olarika, Sukkuma, Bedo. Beda is a different. So different kind of Olarika cross feeling and Sukkuma subtle feeling is Akusala Vedana. Akusala Vedana. Akusala Vedana is the unwholesome feeling. Unwholesome feeling is that the feelings working with the unwholesome consciousness. At the time, that kind of feeling is we call unwholesome feeling. Akusala Vedana. So that unwholesome feeling is we can call Olarika, gross feeling. Gross feeling. Olarika feeling is akusala vedana, and then kusala abhyagata. Kusala and abhyagata. Kusala wholesome and abhyagata is indeterminate. Wholesome and indeterminate vedana feeling we call sukkuma. Sukkuma is a subtle feeling. Sukkuma is a subtle feeling. It is like this, adina, etc., nayena. By that kind of method, by that way, we engage in the analytical teaching, Odena. Odena is what the Buddha explained, what the Buddha talk. Jadi, Sabhawa, Pogala, Lokiya, Lokottara, Vasena. Very long Pali word. So many words combined here. Jadi. Jadi is born. Sabhawa is a nature. So, Vasena is a one by one, pair. Jadi Vasena, like this. So Pali is like this. Jadi Vasena, Sabhava Vasena. So according to the bone, according to the nature, Sabhava Vasena, Pogala Vasena, or Pogala Vasena is according to the person. Pogala is a person. According to the person, Lokiya Vasena, mundane, according to the mundane, Lokiya. And Lokotra Vasena is according to the supramundane. Like this, Viridabha should be understood. So there are various kind of the different Vedana is Sukhuma, Aurarika, and Sukhuma, cross feeling, and Sattva feeling, the Buddha explained. So, Jadi was saying Tawa first. Tawa first, Jadi was saying, according to the Jadi, according to the bone, according to the type of bone, Akusala, Vedana, unwholesome feeling. So unwholesome feeling is one kind of the type of bone. So that's why here Pali mentioned Akusala Vedana. Unwholesome feeling is Savaja. Savaja is a Sa, Avaja. Sa and Avaja together, Savaja. So Sa is with, Avaja is fault, with the fault. Avaja is with the fault, Savaja is with the fault, and Kiriya. Kiriya is behavior, The Akusala is, behavior is not good, bad behavior, isn't it? Yeah. It's because of Akusala unwholesome. So unwholesome behavior is bad behavior. So Kiriya here means the bad behavior, like killing the other, stealing the other properties, etc., etc. Wrongdoing. It's here Kiriya, and then Hedu door, Hedu. Hedu is a cause. The cause of the Akusala unwholesome is, Lobha, greed, dosa, anger, isn't it? Moha, delusion. Yeah, these are cause. So Hedu door, because of cause, because of the wrongdoing, because of the with the fault. That's why the Akusala Vedana unwholesome feeling is we call gross, Olarika. Because of these three reasons, Hedu, the cause is not good because of greed, because of anger, because of delusion. So that's why the feeling, Akusala unwholesome feeling, is not the gross feeling, not subtle. The meaning. Okay, so Kiriya also, the doing, wrongdoing, the killing the other person, and killing, the stealing the other properties, etc., etc. These wrongdoing is not good. So the Akusala Vedana and wholesome feeling is we can call Olarika, gross feeling. Like this. Okay. And then another reason is Kilesa Sandapa Bhava Doja. Kilesa is mental defilement. Sandapa is burning. Burning by the mental defilement. Bhava do is happening. Yeah, Akusala unwholesome feeling is happening because of the burning, the kilesa burning. Yeah, that's why, because of that reason also, because of that reason also, happening by the burning the kilesa, mental defilement. That's why unwholesome feeling, akusala vedana, is called olalika, gross feeling. Like this. And then aupa sanda hoti ti. Aupa sanda hoti iti. Aupa sanda not come. Aupa sanda is not come. Hoti is happening. Iti like this. Kusala vedana. Yeah. Kusala vedana is a wholesome, then the wholesome feeling. The akusala vedana is more gross, olarika. The meaning. So the Buddha make a compare. So akusala vedana and wholesome feeling is more gross than the kusala vedana, wholesome feeling. Wholesome feeling is more subtle, but unwholesome feeling is more gross. That's why. Okay. And then sabya parado. Sabya parado. So pyapara is the effort. With the effort. Sa is with. Pyapara is effort with the effort. With the effort, doing the killing, stealing, like this, with the effort. And then sa osaha do. Osaha also the osa is here, sa osa, so sa is with, osaha is the power to give the result. No, what is that? It's osaha also same kind of effort. Yeah, osaha. Osaha is like kind of pyapara. Pyapara and osaha is the same meaning. The kind of effort. Yeah. Kind of effort to make killing and stealing, various kind of wrongdoing with the various kind of effort. The meaning here, sabya barado, sa ocha, osahado, and then sa vipagado. Vipaga is a result. Sa vipagado with the result. So that result is not good result, isn't it? It's a bad result. With the bad result, and then kilesa sandapa bhavado. Kilesa sandapa. Kilesa is a mental defilement. Sandapa is a burning, bhava happening. Happening by burning with the mental defilement. And then sawajado jang ho. With the fault. Sa awaja. With the fault as well. Vipaka bhyagadaya. Vipaka bhyagadaya is a resultant feeling, and bhyagada. So the vipaka bhyagada is a kind of resultant feeling. Is we call the when we compare the unwholesome feeling and resultant feeling. Resultant feeling is when we compare. Unwholesome feeling is more gross. That's why we call olarika. Okay, and sawibagado with the result Kilesa Sandapa Bhavado happening by burning the manda defilement. Sa Bhyabhajado. Yeah, Sa Bhyabhaja is the kind of the effort. Bhyabhaja is not effort. Bhyabhada is effort. Bhyabhaja is kind of the suffering with the happening with the suffering. Yeah, akusala unwholesome feeling is kind of happening with the suffering. Sabya Bhajado and Sa Wajado ja. Sa Wajado. Sa Awajado with the thought also. Kiriya Bhyagata. Yeah. More than the functional feeling, orarika, unwholesome feeling is crossed. So Buddha make a comparison with the unwholesome feeling and functional feeling. When we compare, unwholesome feeling is more gross than the functional feeling, kiriya bhyagata. Like this. The Buddha is playing with the comparison. So in this way, we can make some feeling is orarika. Here is playing akusala vedana, and wholesome feeling is orarika crossed like this. The other feeling kusala and bhyagata. Bhyagata is a two kind. Vibhaka bhyagata, resultant feeling, and kiriya bhyagata, functional feeling, isn't it? So kusala, wholesome feeling. Bhyagata is a two kind. Yeah, resultant feeling and functional feeling. So these three feeling is we call sukhuma, subtle feeling. Akusala vedana and wholesome feeling is orarika, gross feeling, like this. We have to understand. So the Pali English translation is like this. And the classification into the gross and subtle should be understood according to the kind, jadi, individual essence. And this is an individual essence, is a sabhava nature, and passing pokala, and the mundane, lokiya, and supramundane, lokodara. So as I stated or mentioned in the Vibhinga, the analytical explanation in the way beginning unprofitable or unwholesome feeling is a gross, profitable or wholesome and indeterminate. Indeterminate is a resultant feeling, and functional feeling is a subtle, sukuma. So like this. According to the kind, according to the kind meaning according to the jadi, firstly explaining here, unprofitable feeling, unwholesome feeling is a state of the disquiet, not calm, because of the reprehensible action, and because it's a produce a burning or the defilement, manda defilement, greed, loba, anger, dosa, and delusion, moha. So it is a gross, we call, compare with the profitable feeling, wholesome feeling. When we compare unwholesome feeling with the profitable, with the wholesome feeling, so unwholesome feeling is a gross feeling. And because it is accompanied by interest that and drive and result, and because of the burning or the defilement, because it's a reprehensible, it is a cross compared with the resultant indeterminate feeling. And also because it is accompanied by the result, because of the burning or the mental defilement, and because it is attended by the affliction or suffering. So, and then it's a reprehensible, it is a cross compared with the functional indeterminate feeling, like this. So the three kind of feeling here is explaining. Wholesome feeling is a cross feeling. Now, wholesome and feeling and resultant feeling and functional feeling is we call here the Bhyagata feeling is subtle feeling. So we have to understand like this. Okay, and then Pali continue explaining. Kusala Bhyagata Pana. Pana, the other one explaining is Kusala Bhyagata. Oda Vipariyaya Do. So Kusala Bhyagata is a Kusala wholesome feeling, a Bhyagata feeling, Bhyagata resultant and functional feeling. Oda Vipariyaya Do. Oda we already explained. Oda is already explained. Vipariyaya is the opposite way. Vipariyaya. Agusalaya, agusala vedana, unwholesome feeling, then the unwholesome feeling. Agusalaya. So agusalaya is then the unwholesome feeling. Sukhuma, subtle. So kusala and Bhyagata feeling is when we compare the agusala unwholesome feeling, kusala and Bhyagata feeling is sukhuma. We can understand like this. And then dvebi. Oh, dvebi is a two also. B is also, dve is a two. Okay. Kusala vedana. Kusala is a wholesome feeling, kusala vedana. Akusala vedana is an unwholesome feeling. Two kind. Kusala vedana and akusala vedana, two kind of the feeling. Sabhyabhara do. Sabhyabhara do is according to the for Sausaha do. Sausaha do is according to the Virya effort, and then Savibhaka doja. Savibhaka is with the resultant also. Yatha yoga. Yatha yoga is the respectively Duvidayabi. Duvidaya is a two kind. Du is two, Vida is a kind. Duvidayabi with the two kind meaning is Kiriya, Vipaka and Kiriya. Bhyagata, two kind of Bhyagata. Bhyagataya. Bhyagata. So Duvidayabi, Bhyagataya. Duvidayabi, Bhyagataya is a two kind of Bhyagata. Two kind of Bhyagata is a resultant and functional Kiriya. Olarika. Olarika is a cross. So unwholesome feeling is the kind of unwholesome No. Kusala and akusala. Sorry. Kusala and akusala, wholesome and unwholesome feeling. Wholesome feeling and unwholesome feeling is when we compare with the Abhyagata, they are cross, olarika. We can say like this. Because I mean, kusala and akusala, wholesome and unwholesome is very active. Very active, so very cross, the feeling also. But Abhyagata is a rasada and functional feeling is not very active, so that's why cross, the not cross, the subtle. So Hoda Priya, Hoda Vipriya na already explained the opposite way. Duidaya be, so two kind, Abhyagata. Abhyagata is the indeterminate feeling. Tahi means those two kind of wholesome feeling and unwholesome feeling, then Sukhuma, more subtle. Sukhuma. So when we compare like this, so akusala unwholesome feeling is olarika. When we compare with the wholesome and unwholesome, unwholesome is olarika, cross. Wholesome feeling is sukhuma. But when we compare with the abhyagata, wholesome feeling and unwholesome feeling is olarika. Abhyagata, the indeterminate feeling is sukhuma. Like this. So Buddha explained that because of the feeling is working with the various kind of consciousness, wholesome consciousness, kusala chitta, unwholesome consciousness, unwholesome unconsciousness, akusala chitta, and vipaka chitta also. Vipaka is a resultant consciousness, and functional kiriya chitta also functional consciousness. So feeling is working with the four kind of consciousness. So that's why Buddha here, explain these four kind of feeling. The feeling working with the kusala, that feeling is we call kusala, wholesome feeling. The feeling working with the unwholesome consciousness, that feeling is we call unwholesome feeling, like this. Okay, so Aeon like this, tower first. Jati Vasena, according to the kind or bond. Olarika Sukumata. Olarika is cross, Sukuma is a subtle, the feeling, kind of cross feeling and subtle feeling. Viridaba, we should be understood. Should be understood. So that Pali English translation is, but in the opposite sense, profitable or wholesome and indeterminate, Abhyagata feeling are subtle when we compare with the unwholesome feeling. And also the two meaning is here that is profitable kusala and unprofitable akusala feeling involved in interestedness and drive and result, and so they are respectively cross compare when we compare with the twofold indeterminate Bhyagata. Bhyagata means vipaka and kiriya. Feeling. And in the opposite sense, the twofold indeterminate, resultant and functional feeling is subtle when we compare with them. So this is firstly how the grossness and subtle the feeling should be understood according to the kind. Okay, and then we go to the next one. The Pali continue. Sabhava or Senapana. Pana continuously explaining. Sabhava or Sena. Sabhava is according to the nature or according to the essence, individual essence. So nature means individual essence, sabhava in Pali. Dukkha vedana. Dukkha vedana. Dukkha is the suffering. Vedana feeling. The suffering feeling is nirasadado. Nirasadado is no enjoyment. Without enjoyment. Yeah. Suffering feeling is without enjoyment. Definitely. Huh? And savipaharado. Saviparado. Vipara is the kind of shaking or unstable. Yeah, unstableness. So saviparado is with the unstableness. Yeah, when we have a suffering feeling, our body and mind is shaking. Yeah, not stable. Yeah, and then koba karanado. Yeah, koba. Make a disturbance. Koba is a kind of disturbance. Make a disturbance. Karana is a make a disturbance. The suffering feeling is a make disturbance to our body and mind. Yeah, and then obe jani yado. Obe jani yado means make the create the anxiety. Yeah, yeah. So dukkha vedana, suffering feeling is not good for us because make anxiety. So many mental problems because of that kind of feeling make. And then abhibhavana docha. Abhibhavana docha. Abhibhavana is torture. Make a torture. Abhibhavana docha. Make a torture. Idrehi. Idarahi is the other idarahi the other dvihi two meanings the other different two kind of feelings sukha and upekha, isn't it? Sukha happiness feeling and some upekha neutral feeling. So these two kind, more than these two kind feeling, these two kind feeling, orarika, cross. So dukkha vedana is more than the sukha and upekha vedana, more gross, isn't it? Yeah, because the nature shaking and no enjoyment and torture and yeah, like this. And then Idarabana bana, the other two different feeling is Idara is Sukha Vedana and Ubekha Vedana, Dui. Two kind of feeling are Sadado, or Sadado is a enjoy. Sadado, enjoyable, Sadado, and Sandado is pleasant, or the Sandado is peaceful. Panidado, the best. Panida is best or superior. Panidado. And Manabado. Oh. Panida is superior, the best. And Manabado is the kind of Manaba is like. Manaba is like. And then Mijadado cha is Mijada is in the middle. Yeah. Mijada is in middle. In the middle. In the middle also. Yatha Yoga, according to these reason, Dukkaya, more than the suffering feeling, Sukhuma, subtle. Sukha and Upekha is more than the dukkha, the suffering feeling, Sukhuma, subtle. Ubo Pana, the other one is Ubo, two kind of Ubo is here Sukha Dukkha. Sukha Dukkha here. Sukha Dukkha. Sukha is a happiness feelings, Dukkha is a suffering feeling. Savipahara do. Savipahara do. With the shaking Savipahara parado, and then Kobana Karanado. Koba Karanado. Make it turbulent. Kobana. Pagadadoja. Very obvious. Pagadado is very obvious. So Adukkha Masukaya. Adukkha Masukha is a neutral feeling. Then the neutral feeling, Olarika. So when we compare Sukha, happiness feeling, and Dukkha, suffering feeling, when we compare with the neutral feeling, Ubekha, so Sukha and Dukkha, these feeling is Orarika, gross, we call. Because they are very obvious to know. Sukha and Dukkha are very obvious to know. And Sukha Dukkha is make shaking our mind. When we happy, our mind very happy because of happiness, shaking. Suffering also because of suffering, our mind is shaking. That's why. Savibaha parado, koba karanado. That's why. Yeah, the sukha and dukkha, that kind of two feeling is we call olalika, cross feeling. Sa is that neutral feeling, upekha feeling. Sa, that neutral feeling, upekha feeling is oda vipariyayena. And the opposite of the explanation, The Dubhayado. Dubhayadang Ubhayado. That two kind of feelings, Sukha and Dukkha. Then the Sukha and Dukkha, these two kind of feeling, Sukhuma, more subtle. So neutral feeling is, Upekha is a very subtle, yeah. That's why sometimes Upekha feeling, when we, our mind working with the Upekha feeling, neutral feeling, at the time we don't know this is a neutral feeling or not. We cannot, easily we don't know. But Sukha and Dukkha is easy to know, huh? When we compare like this, yeah. Okay, so Aeon like this, Sabhava Vasena. According to the nature, according to the individual essence, Aurarika Sukumata, grossness and subtleness, Vedava should be known. So three kind of feeling here mentioned. Dukkha Vedana is Aurarika, gross. And then Sukha also gross because very easy, obvious to know. But Adukha Masukha, Ubekha is subtle feeling. Gross subtle feelings we can classify like this. So that Pali English translation here is according to the individual essence, Sabhava do, painful feeling, Dukkha Vedana is gross. Because when we compare with the others, other meaning is Sukha and Upekha, because it is without enjoyment, it's involved the intervention, it's cause a tough disturbance, and it create anxiety, and it's overpowering. Overpowering is a bit bhavanado. Overpowering, torturing. That's why the painful feeling, dukkha vedana, is a gross feeling. And the other two is sukha and upekha are subtle. When we compare with the painful feeling at the time, because upekha and sukha and upekha are satisfying, peaceful, and superior, and respectively agreeable and neutral. So that's why. And then both the present feeling and painful feeling are crossed. When we compare with the neither painful nor pleasant feeling, ubekha, because they involve intervention, cause a disturbance, are obvious. That's why the two kind of feeling, pleasant feeling, painful feeling, sukha vedana and dukkha vedana is we call gross feeling, because they're very easy, very obvious to know. And then the later is the upekha feeling. Upekha, the neutral feeling is subtle in the way already explained, compare with the both the former the sukha and dukkha. So that should be grossness and subtleness to be understood according to the individual essence. Sabhava or sena. Okay. And then we go to the next one. Next one is Pukkala Vasena. So Pukkala Vasena Pana. Pana, the other explanation is Pukkala Vasena according to the Parsing Pukkala. The parsing is different kind of parsing. Here is a asama banasa. Asamabanasa is the person who has no attainment, samapatti. Who has no attainment, samapatti, that person we call here Pali Asamabanasa. Is a no. So the person who has no attainment, samapatti, Vedana, the person feeling is Nanaramane. Nanaramane is a various kind of object. Nana is a various kind, many kind, many various kind of object. Vikita bhava to. Vikita is throwing or wandering, or the Vikita is agitation. Yeah, bhava is happening. To because of happening, the agitation happening, wandering. That's why. That's a reason. The person who has no attainment, that person feeling is working with the various kind of object, not stable, very wandering, very agitation. So the person Vedana is we call Olarika at the end of the sentence. Olarika. When we compare with the person Samabanasa, the person who has attainment, Samapatti, that person Vedanaya, the feeling, when we compare. So the person who has no attainment, that person Vedana is more gross, Olarika, gross feeling than the Samapatti person. Because a Samapatti person mind is very, stable, no wandering, working with only one object at the time, not various kind of object. So that's why, it's subtle. So Vipriyayana is by the opposite way of explaining. Itara, the other, the person, the other person meaning is Samapatti person, the person who attained the Samapatti attainment. That person feeling is Sukhuma, subtle. So even like this, Pogala was saying, according to the person, Olarika, Sukhumata, grossness and subtleness, Vedava should be understood. Okay, so according to the person, there are two kind of person: Samapatti person, asama, not sama. The person who attained Samapatti, and the person who has no attainment. So the two different person has a two different feeling. So one, the person who has no attainment, Samapatti, the person feeling is Orarika. The person who has a Samapatti, the person feeling is Sukhuma. So the Pali English translation here is according to the person, the feeling in one who has no attainment is a cross. When we compare with that in one who has a one has attainment, Samapatti, because it is distracted by the multiple object, various kind of object. In the opposite way, the other person, the person who has attainment, that person feeling is subtle, Sukhuma. So this is how grossness and subtle should be understood according to the person. Okay, and then we go to the next one. Next one is Lokiya Lokuttara. So Pali continue. Lokiya Lokuttara Vasena Pana. Pana continuously explaining Lokiya Lokuttara Vasena. Vasena is according to Lokiya is a mundane, Lokuttara is super mundane. So according to the mundane and super mundane, Sasawa Vedana. Oh. Sasawa is asawa with asawa, sa asawa. Pali sasawa is a sa asawa. Okay, sa plus asawa. So asawa is a for kind of the kanker, for kind of kama sawa. We learn Abhidhamma, kama sawa, bhava sawa, dita sawa, and avijja sawa. Kama sawa and bhava sawa is lobha, greed. Dita sawa is a deity, wrong view, and avijja sawa is a delusion, moha. So four asawa, here is a sasawa. With the four asawa, with a feeling. So the feeling is working with the four asawa. So that kind of feeling is we call lokiya, mundane feeling. So mundane feeling meaning is working with that feeling is working with the asawa, four asawa. Four asawa means the three kind of the matter feathers, greed, wrong view, and delusion. And then sa is referred to the previous one. Sa is that lokiya, the mundane feeling. Sa, that mundane feeling is sa saupati hetu do. Asopati hetu do. Asawa upati. Asopati is asawa upati. Two words combined. So asopati. Okay. So asawa is asawa. Upati is arising. Arising four kind of asawa, kanka, and hedu is a cause. So the cause for the arising for kanka, asawa. This is one reason. Do is because of the reason, and oga ni do. Oga ni do. Oga is the flood. Yeah. Kamoga, Paoga, Datoga, Oijoga, same like asawa, but Buddha use a different word because a different person understand in different words, so that's why. But the Dharma is the same, greed, wrong view, and delusion, lobha, deity, and moha. Same. So the organiya door is the feeling is with the yoga also lead the full kind of yoga. Kama yoga, bhava yoga, ditthi yoga, avijja yoga. So yoga is the bond because of the four kind of born, reliable, and then Ganta, Gantaniado. So Ganta is kind of the time, Ganta. So four kind of time also here. Kama Ganta, Jabada, Ganta, like this. We learn Abhidhamma. And then Nivaraniya do. Nivarana, 5 kind of Nivarana. Yeah. Hindrances. Liable to the hindrances. Upadaniya do. Upadana. 4 kind of Upadana. Kamupadana. Tetupadana. Atawarupadana. So the kind of upadana, so the upadana is a clinging or liable to the clinging, and then sankilesikato, kilesa. Sankilesa. Sankilesa is a make a banning or make a worrying, so that kind of thing with the mental defilements. Yeah, Sankilesa. Sanglesikato and Purujana. Purujana. Sadharana doja. Purujana is the ordinary person. Purujana. Sadharana is the you know, sadharana is related with the ordinary person. Yeah, because of the reason also. Sad Putujana Sadharana doja. Anasawaya. Anasawa is a na asawa. No asawa. No asawa meaning is a Logottara, the supermundane feeling. Then the supermundane feeling without the asawa, olarika. So with the logia, the mundane feeling is olarika feeling, gross feeling, because of the many reasons here mentioned. Liable to the canker arising, the cause of canker arising, liable to the flood, liable to the bone, liable to the tie, liable to the hindrances, liable to the clinging, and then the banning and defying, and then connect with the ordinary person. That's why the lokia, the mundane feeling is orarika. And sa is the supermundane feeling. Sa, the supermundane feeling is vipariyayana, opposite of the already explaining. Vipariyayana. Sa sawaya. Sa sawaya is the feeling walking with the asawa. Sukhuma, more gross, more subtle. Sukhuma. So the Logottara supermundane feeling is Sukhuma, subtle. The Logia mundane feeling is Olarika, gross feeling. Here explaining. So even like this, Logia Logottara was seen according to the mundane and supermundane. Olarika Sukumata, grossness and subtle Viridabha should be understood. So to kind of the Orarika Sukhuma analyze like this. So the Pali English translation here is according to the mundane and supermundane, Lokiya and Logodra, the feeling subject to the kangal we call mundane feeling. That is a gross feeling. When we compare with the free from the kangal, because the mundane feeling is a cause for the rising of the kangal, is reliable to the flat. Oga is reliable to the bone, yoga is reliable to the time, kanta, and reliable to the hindrances, nivarana, reliable to the clinging, upadana, and defiable, sankilesa, and banning, and then shared by the ordinary person, Bhutuchana, Sadharana. Because of these reasons, we call mundane feeling is gross feeling. And then later, the supermundane feeling in the opposite explaining is this grossness and subtle should be understood. The mundane and supermundane. Okay. And then we go to the next one. Next one is Pali is explaining Tata. Tata is referred to the explaining the gross and subtle, Orarika and Sukuma, Jadi Vasena. Jadi Adi Vasena. Jadi, the bone, type of bone or kind, etc., etc., etc. Adi Vasena is accordingly. Sambido. Sambido is a mix. Pariharidabo. Pariharidabo is should be avoided. Misunderstanding should be avoided. That's why in Pali here explaining Akusala Vipaka Kiriya Vinyana Sambayota He. He more detailed explaining not to the misunderstanding, to avoid the misunderstanding, more detailed explaining the meaning here, he. Akusala Vipaka Kiriya Vinyana. Akusala Vipaka is unwholesome resident, isn't it? Akusala Vipaka, unwholesome resident, Kaya Vinyana. Kaya Vinyana is a body. Bodily conscious, bodily consciousness. Sambyuta. Sambyuta is associate, because associate with the akusala unwholesome resident, bodily consciousness. Vedana, that kind of Vedana, that kind of feeling is Jati Vasena, according to the Jati, Abhyagatata. Abhyagatata is, Kaya Vinyana, bodily consciousness, body consciousness is Abhyagata. Akusala Vipaka, Kaya Vinyana, unwholesome resident body consciousness is Abhyagata and indeterminate. Because of resident consciousness, isn't it? Because of resident consciousness, that's why Abhyagatata, because of indeterminate, Jati Vasena, Sukhumabi. Sukhuma is even though subtle, we learn. The Buddha explained Vyagata. The feeling is Sukhuma because of difficult to know. That's why we can say Sukhuma, even though we can say Sukhuma, but Samanabi means yeah. Even though we can say Sukhuma, even though Sabhavadi was saying oh, Sabhava is a individual essence or nature, etc., etc. According to the individual essence or nature, etc., etc. Orarika, that feeling is we call orarika, gross feeling, hoti happen. So don't be confused. Sometimes you should be confused like this. Huh? So the akusala vipaka, unwholesome residence, kaya vinyana, body consciousness is abhyagata because of the residence. Abhyagata is should be that feeling is sukhuma, but according to the individual essence, it's orarika. Because akusala vipaka, kaya vinyana, that feeling is not good. So Odanyedam. Odanhi edam. Okay, 3 words combined here. Odanhi edam. He, it is true. Edam, that kind of talking. Odam, Buddha talk. How the Buddha talk? Here, Pali is Vyagata, Vedana, Sukhuma, Dukkha, Vedana, Olarika, Samabanasa, Vedana, Sukhuma, Asamabanasa Vedana Olarika, Sasawa Vedana Olarika, Anasawa Vedana Sukhumadi. It is like this, Buddha. It done the kind of talking, Buddha talk. So the meaning of Abhyagata Vedana is a resident and functional indeterminate feeling. Abhyagata Vedana. Abhyagata Vedana means indeterminate feeling. Indeterminate feeling here means resident feeling and functional feeling. So these two kind of feeling is sukhuma, subtle. Dukkha Vedana, suffering. Dukkha Vedana is suffering feeling, unpleasant feeling is alarika, gross. Samabanasa Vedana. Samabanasa is the person who has attainment, who has a samapati. That person Vedana is sukhuma, subtle. Asamabanasa, the person who has no samapati, that person Vedana feeling is alarika, gross. Sasawa Vedana, Sasawa is with the asawa, the kind of Vedana is alarika. And nasawa Vedana, no asawa, the kind of Vedana is sukhuma. So it is like this, Buddha already explained. Yatha cha, continuously talking, continuously explaining dukkha vedana, yatha dukkha vedana. Yatha like this, dukkha vedana, the suffering feeling, unpleasant feeling, even like this, sukha deyobi. Sukha is sukha vedana and upekha vedana also. Happiness feeling and neutral feeling also. Jati vasena, according to the jati, according to the kind olarika cross. Sabhavadi vasena. Oh, Sabhava is according to the individual essence, Sukhuma, subtle. Tasama, because of that, Yatha Jadi Adivasena, according to the Jadi, etc., etc., Sambedo is a misunderstanding, Nahodi, no happen. Tha, in that way, Vedanana, for the feeling, Orarika Sukhumata, the cross and subtle Vidava should be understood. So you should compare like this. That Buddha gave the way. The way now is Jadiwasena or the Sabhavavasena. Okay, so the Pali English translation here is, and one should be aware of the mixing up the classification of the feeling according to the kind and etc. etc. For although feeling associated with the unwholesome, resident body consciousness is a subtle, according to the kind, because it is indeterminate, resident. It is a nevertheless gross, according to the individual essence. Individual essence meaning is Sabhava Vasena. Sabhava Vasena is a cross, and so on. So it is said what the Buddha explained, indeterminate feeling is a subtle, painful feeling is a gross, the feeling in one who with the attainment is a subtle, that the person with the no attainment is a gross, the feeling free from the kanga is a subtle, the feeling accompanied with the kanga is a gross. So like this Buddha explained. So and like a painful feeling, so also present feeling and neutral feeling, etc., is a gross according to the kind and subtle according to the individual essence. You have to understand like this. So different view, different classification, you have to understand. So therefore, the feeling, grossness, and subtle should be understood in such way. There is no mixing up the classification according to the kind and so on. Okay. And then Pali continue explaining Sayatidam. Sayatidam is, for example, Abhyagata. Abhyagata is the indeterminate feeling. Jati Vasena, according to the Jati, Kusala, Kusala, Hi. Kusala and Akusala. Kusala is a Kusala and Akusala. Kusala, wholesome feeling, Akusala, unwholesome feeling. Then the wholesome feeling and unwholesome feeling, Abhyagata, indeterminate feeling, is according to the Jati, Sukhuma, subtle. Tata is in that Pali, in that talking, Katama Vyagada. Oh, Katama Vyagada. Vyagada, the indeterminate meaning is a Katama what? So this is a question. Gain dukkha. Oh, dukkha, suffering is gain what? Gain sukha. Or the gain sukha, gain dukkha, gain sukha is sukha. This is sukha or this is dukkha. That feeling is abhyagata feeling is indeterminate feeling is sukha or dukkha. Sukha gain. The gain is a question. Sukha or this is sukha. Is that sukha? Is that dukkha? Is that sukha? Gain dukkha or gain sukha? Or and then another question is gain samabanasa. Samabanasa is the person who has attainment. Gain asamabanasa. Asamabanasa who has no attainment. And another question, gain sasawa. This is with the asawa or gain and asawa without asawa. Iti eon like this. Sabhavadi Bedo. Sabhavadi Bedo is a beta is a different. The different of the individual essence. Na paramasitabo should not should not thinking. Should not take a thinking. Isa nayo sabata. Sabata in all kind of vedana. Isa nayo, this is a nayo is a method. Isa is this is Isa nayo, this is a method. This is a method to how to understand. So the Pali English translation here is, for example, the intermediate feeling according to the kind is subtle. When we compare with the wholesome and unwholesome, so the individual essence, class, etc., must not be insist upon like this, which cannot indeterminate. It is a painful, it is a present, it is one with the attainment, or it is the one without attainment. It is subject to kanka. It is the free from kanka. And so, yeah, no need to think in like this. Okay. So, abhijja. Ali continue explaining. Abhijja, furthermore. Abhijja is a furthermore. Abhijja, furthermore, abhijja, the other different method, different way. Tandanvapana vedana. Tandanvapana vedana, that kind of feeling. Ubada yubadaya. Ubada yubadaya is a taking though that feeling. Vedana, the feeling sukhu olarika sukhuma, gross and subtle, tatapa should be known. It is like the Vachanato. Vachanato is what the Buddha talk. Akusala di subi, akusala vedana, etc. Also, loba saha gadaya. Loba saha gadaya, loba with the associate with the loba, greed, Dosagata associated with the anger, the Vedana, the feeling is agiviya, like a fire. Yeah, because of dosa. Dosa is like a fire, that's why. Dosa sagata Vedana is agiviya, like a fire. The associated with the anger, that kind of feeling is kind of the fire, agiviya. Atano, the person who are angry, naysaya dhanado. Dependent the naysaya dhanado. Naysaya is a heart base. Dhana is a burning the heart base. Because of burning the heart base, we call that kind of Vedana, working with the associate anger, that Vedana is we call Orarika, cross. So when we compare with that, the Vedana feeling working with the associated with the anger, and the feeling working with the Lobha Sagata, associated with the Lobha, greed. So that feeling, the feeling associated with the Lobha is Sukkuma, subtle. So when we compare like this, the feeling with the anger and the feeling with the greed, the feeling with the anger is Orarika, the feeling with the Lobha, greed is a Sukkuma. Like this, you have to understand. And then Dosa Sagada Pi. Niyata Orarika. So the feeling associated with the anger and dosa, that feeling is niyata, is definitely, very dangerous. The kind of feeling that's we call Orarika. Aniyada is not constant, just temporarily. That kind of anger, that kind of feeling, working associated with the anger, that feeling is we call Sukkuma. So even though when you are angry, the feeling is working with the anger, but sometimes the feeling is constantly very strong with the anger at the time Orarika. But sometimes Aniyada is not inconstant, just temporarily, very short anger. The feeling is we call Sukkuma. Like this, we have to understand. So it's depends on how you angry, and that feeling is also changing, Sukkuma and Orarika. Too much anger, very strongly at the time, the Vedana is we call here Orarika. But sometimes very anger is not too strong. That feeling, working with not too strong anger, that feeling is we call Sukkuma. Like this. So yeah, because of our mind is changing, very, very different way. Yeah, so that's why and the Buddha explained like this. And a niyadabi. Niyada is a very constantly, very strongly, very, very strongly. Nothing is curable at the time. So that kind of anger is we call niyata. And niyata be kapatitaka. Kapatitaka. Kapatitaka is that because of that anger is very strong. So because of that, the result is kapatitata is man owing many years, the kind of result we get, vipaka result, because of the anger is so strong, very strong anger. The anger make a result is like in the hell many eon. Yeah, so kapatitada is kapatitika is like this. Many years in the hell. Because of very strong anger. Yeah. Niyata means the meaning. So the kind of feeling here is we call it orarika, the cross feeling, isn't it? Idra, the different kind of feeling, is a sukuma. So different kind of feelings. The anger is not too strong, at that time the feeling is working with that kind of anger. The feeling is we call sukuma. Yeah, like this. And then kapatiti kasubi. Kapatiti kasubi. Even though many eons stay suffering, that kind of feeling is asankharika. Asankharika is no unprounded. Unprounded feeling is orarika. Idra, the other different one is sasankhara. Sasankhara is with the prounded feeling is a sukuma. Like this. So more detail, classification is like this. Okay, and then Loba Sagata Pana continuously explaining Loba Sagata associate with the greed, Diti Sambayota. Associate with the greed, Loba, at that time, Diti Sambayota. Walking with the wrong view. So that kind of feeling is we call olarika. Even though they associate with the wrong view, that feeling is associated with the loba. That feeling is one deity with the walking with the deity wrong view. At the time, that feeling is we call orarika. Idra, the other kind of feeling is without wrong view. Without wrong view, that kind of feeling is working with the loba, greed. That feeling we call sukuma. Yeah. So more detail, more, we need to think in like compare like this. So comparison is more important here. So Buddha explained like this in detail for the classification sukuma and the orarika like this. Not very easy, but yeah, here the Buddha gave the method how to analyze. Okay, sabi. Sabi means refer to the deity kata sambyuta. Walking with the wrong view, that kind of feeling also very strong, constantly. Kapatitika. That in many eons, asankharika. Asankarika means unprounded. That kind of feeling is we call Olarika. Idara, the opposite one is not Sankara, Sarikarika, that kind of Vedana is a Sukuma. So we have to understand like this. And then Avisesena. Avisesena is not associated with the Loba and Dosa. Avisesena cha Agusala and Hosan. And Hosan feeling is Bahu Vipaka. Bahu, money. Vipaka is resident. Money resident. That feeling is we call Orarika. So that kind of classification is we don't think about associated with the loba or dosa. We don't need to think about. But agusala, but that agusala is make a money bahu vipaka is money result. Give the money result. Make a money result. That kind of unwholesome is we feeling is we call olarika. Okay. Are we Abba Vipaka? Yeah, Abba Vipaka. Abba is a little. Vipaka is resada. So if that unwholesome is give a little result, that kind of unwholesome feeling is we call sukuma. Okay. Kusala bana. Bana, the other one is a kusala. Oh, yeah. And wholesome. Kusala is a wholesome resident. Huh? The wholesome resident is Abba Vipaka. Little result is we call Orarika. So opposite. Huh? Agusala is a little result is a Sukuma. But for Kusala, little result is a Orarika. Okay? So for the Kusala, wholesome feeling, Bahu Vipaka, money result, give the money result, that kind of feeling we call Sukuma. For the Kusala, wholesome feeling. The wholesome feeling and unwholesome feelings are in this method opposite. For wholesome feeling, little result Orarika, money result Sukuma. But for unwholesome feeling, money result Orarika, little result Sukuma. Okay, so don't be confused like this. Because of kusala and unwholesome is in opposite the result. So that's why we can compare like this. Okay, so that Pali English translation is a furthermore, because of the words of feeling should be regarded as a gross and subtle in the comparison with this or that feeling. So among the unwholesome, etc., feeling and accompanied by hate is a gross compared with the accompanied by the greed, because it's burn up its own support like a fire. So that company by the greed is a subtle. Also, the company by hate is a gross, when the hate is a constant, very strong, and then subtle, when it is inconstant, not very strong. And then the constant, very strong, is a gross, one is a given result that lasts for many, many eons, while the other is a subtle. So like this you can compare, and then those given result lasting for the eon unprounded is cross, while the other is subtle. So, but the company by an agree is a cross, one associated with the false view, round view. So round view is a more promoted, so that's why in the cross, but why in the other is a subtle, opposite without round view. At the time, we call that feeling subtle. And that also one a constant and given result lasting for many, many eons. And unprounded, that feeling is we call cross feeling, while the other are subtle. And without distinction, like this, uncomfortable, unprofitable, unwholesome with much result is a cross, while the little result is a subtle. But the profitable, wholesome feeling with little result is cross, while the much result, many result is subtle. So like this, you have to compare and you make the feeling is a cross feeling, the feeling is a subtle feeling. Like this, you have to classify. Okay. Okay. So today we have to stop here today, and then before we stop the lecture, we wish our Buddha teaching lasts a longer and longer universe like this. So the last Buddha teaching longer, the more we can get the benefits, because there we can know the kind of the classification very detailed. Without Buddha teaching, we cannot understand like this. So that's why uh, we wish Buddha Sasana chant it 2 and 3 times, please. Buddha Sasana chiran ditadu. Buddha Sasana chiran ditadu. Buddha Sasana chiran ditadu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idame punya asavakayam hotu. Idame punya nibbanasa pacayo hotu. Idame punya magapala nyanasa pacayo hotu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much for your watching. See you next week. Have a good day. Bye bye.